Meowdy, y'all. I'm Miss Kitty Litter ATX, and I'd like to take a moment to welcome you to the new Mew Review. And today we're going to be taking a look at Camp Wannakiki Season 3, Episode 3, y'all. But before we get started, I'd like to put my usual disclaimer in place and say that the views reflected on this show do not represent those of any other individual, business, entity, Camp Wannakiki fans, whatever. It's just simply my 2 cents worth. And that plus $5 might get you a cheeseburger at McDonald's. Okay, moving on. Some of you last week got the pleasure of meeting my beloved cat Ernestine. And unfortunately, I have to report that since her exposure to the public, that it has just gone to her head, and Ernestine done lost her damn mind, y'all. She's going out to the clubs and drinking every night. In fact, I think we're going to have to stage hashtag intervention for Ernestine, y'all. She's been demanding contracts. She wants her own merch line, a European club tour. Go on, Ernestine. For the time being, I think you're going to have to run along next door and go play with that Burmese that you're so fond of. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just another instance where a pussy develops a mind of its own. And thinking along those lines, we were supposed to have a special guest today, but unfortunately, that surprise guest surprised me by not showing up. So instead, I thought I would share with you my prize-winning bush. This bush won third prize at the county fair, and people have come from far and wide to get a look at my big bush, y'all. So I did want to share that with you today. Now let's get down to business. I know what y'all came here for. You came for Camp Wannakiki, so let's talk about it. Camp Wannakiki Season 3, Episode 3 opens with the Sugar Baker twins and Camp Counselor Ruthie trying to figure out what to do on a rainy day out in the woods. Suddenly, there is a phone call with Dusty Ray Bottoms, our special guest for this week. For those of y'all who don't know who that is, she was in Season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race. The wig was fire, the conversation was hilarious, and when they were done with all that, then they heard the bell ringing, that familiar bell, which lets you know that it's time to bring out our campers and start those challenges. So the campers were brought out, and they were divided into 3 groups this time as opposed to 2 teams. And they were told that this week they would be working towards getting their merit badge for morning wood. Yes, they're getting their morning wood badge, y'all. So what they were going to be doing is they were going to be building these little wood sheds, as it were, or whatever. And they were supposed to not only build the woodshed, but then somehow decorate it to make it campy. While this was going on, there was some interesting conversations taking place between the campers where they were discussing things like gender expectations and being out to co-workers and people that one would know. And I found that conversation to be quite interesting. After these tool sheds were built, she sheds. Wow, I got that out, y'all. Then it was going to be time to announce the theme for the evening's talent show. And this week, the theme was announced to be Bring Your Best Lumber Sexual Look. So kind of like a sexy lumberjack or lumberjill or what have you, to the stage. Bring that look to the stage. All right. So, first up on the stage, we had Vivian Vendetta Sinclair. And she was an axe throwing target. Don't ask me what was sexual about it. It was campy though and fun, and I did actually enjoy this quite a bit. There was a flannel dress. She had kind of a target. There was an axe stuck in the target. There was some axes that were in her head. Perhaps those were thrown by some of her competitors to try and knock her out of the competition. I don't know, but I did live for the camp of it, although I didn't feel that the sexual component was quite there. Next up, we had Gilda Wabbit. And Gilda Wabbit was doing a lumbersexual look. She came out and basically had a red flannel onesie with a flap in the back that showed off her best assets. She passed out some little gummies that were kind of like maybe sexual enhancement pills or whatnot, and the story was funny. I will say that I thought the look was really quite simple. I will say also, Gilda, that I did appreciate your willingness to step outside the box in terms of not giving something quite so glamorous, because I know that was probably difficult to do. So I really admire your bravery on that note. But I have to admit that I thought for me the flannel onesie was just a bit simple. Next up we had Lucy Couture. Lucy Couture was giving the first of two that we saw, a lumberjack mistress dominatrix. I noticed that branding on the axe that she had her name on there. It was kind of a flannel meets S&M look. S&M, for those of you who don't know, means stand-in model. No, it was I thought quite cute. Next up we had America Powers. And America Powers was doing Paula Onion, y'all. Paula Onion. Okay, so what she was supposed to be, I suppose, was like Paul Bunyan's wife. There was kind of a clown look going on with some flannel overalls and a flannel undershirt. There was red and blue there. She had this really fabulous kind of orange clown wig. The paint was right. She was doing this kind of a clownish thing. There were little saws in the barrettes and just some like Timberland style boot things going on, and the story had me it had me in hysterics, y'all. It was funny. She sold the whole look with the story. So once again, America comes out and she's giving you a great look. She's giving you a great story. I think she's going to be one to watch out for this season, y'all. Mark my words here. Quite funny. Next up, we had Bohemian Rhapsody. And Bohemian was doing a beaver dominatrix look. And she ought to stop with this. Get it, ought to stop, because it's a beaver. Okay, anyways, it was kind of like black leather meets beaver. There was the teeth. There was a very comical face paint going on. There was the leather kind of corset bustier thing happening. The boots. The funniest thing that she did was that she carried this log out onto stage, and then she takes her whip and literally flogs her log on stage. I hollered. That was, as psych eggs go, that was priceless. The look was great, very camp, very well done and thought out. And it didn't have to rely on the flannel to give you the story. So I appreciated that. Next to the stage was She Need This Gig. Also made me laugh. She was giving me Hoary Woodpecker. There was like a beat thing going on. A flannel shirt tied around the waist, and references to, of course, Woody Woodpecker. Yeah, I tried. Anyways, I thought it was cute, and it did make me laugh. Next up, we had Red Corvette. And Red Corvette was giving you Dale the Wood Chippendale. Kind of a sexy stripper thing going on. Came out, had this very large chainsaw in their hands, and of course my first thought was it was the Texas Chainsaw Mascara. But no, so Red came out and did this dance and told his story, and I actually was there. I thought it was hella sexy. I thought the reveal and then the kind of gender switch thing, all that was working for me. I thought it was cute. Was it the most campy thing on the stage? No, it was not. But I did see some other looks on this episode that I thought were a bit more simple, just to be honest. So there was that. Next up, we had Geneva Convention. And Geneva Convention came out as a deck erector. So basically, there was like a construction thing going on. She had the construction hat. There was a tool belt. There was this very pretty kind of denim blouse that had obviously been stoned and studded and whatnot. It was gorgeous. There was some kind of thigh-high socks. There was boots, all that. Construction tape and this magazine that, as a side gag, was just hilarious to me. So the detail was all there for me. The story was there. Geneva was actually one of my favorites for this week. I thought it was very well thought out. And once again, did it have to be like this total flannel thing going on? Last but not least, we had Queen Faraz. And Queen Faraz was doing this kind of a, I guess, a bearded lumberjack stripper thing. And I was here for it, but I wasn't. I will say that I think the sexy thing was there. I will say that the lumberjack thing was sort of there. The camp, not so much for me. It was very simple. If you took away the beard, all it was just a flannel dress with some flannel leg warmer kind of things going on. And then a black unitard bodysuit kind of thing underneath. It just was a little simple for me. I lived for the split that you did, because I could do that. And all I could think of was that, she split them logs, okay, in half. More power to you, honey. That was amazing. But didn't totally love this look. Face, once again, absolutely stunning. Queen knows how to paint. I will tell you that. After that, all the campers had come out and shown their looks, and there was some backstage chat while the judges deliberated in the back. And I always live for those moments when they have the conversations, because you get to see the vulnerability, you get to see the nerves, and it lets you know a little bit more about what these folks are doing. Speaking of which, if you have not already subscribed, paid for the subscription to the Wannakiki page, please do so, because the backstage chatter that you get included with your package is worth the price of the ticket alone. And it lets you get to know more about the human side of these contestants and where they're at. I watched it the other night and was just really in tears, not only by Kylie Michaels' story, but also by the kindness of Geneva Convention and just some other things I saw that really touched my heart. Usually it takes the battery and the pacemaker to make that be affected in any way. So anyways, after all was said and done, people were called out again. The top two for this week were Bohemian Rhapsody and America Powers. And in the end, Bohemian Rhapsody won the challenge. And I have to say, I agreed with this. I thought it was funny, well thought out, really one of my favorites of the night. So I was happy to see a hometown girl do so well after putting so much into it. So kudos to you, honey. America was quite brilliant as well, as usual. Our bottom two were Rhett Corvette and Vivian Vendetta Sinclair. What did I think about this? Well, this one actually just broke my heart and threw it on the floor and stomped on it. And I'm afraid that that's going to be what happens a lot this season as we get more attached to our campers. That you just develop certain feels for people, and then you see them go home. It's just devastating. And I did think that that was very sad. Also, I did think that some of the other looks this week maybe were maybe not as up to the challenge as they could have been also. But that being said, I want to say this on a personal note, besides the fact that Rhett, you're just a wonderful king, and I'm looking forward to see what you do in the future. I think you've got a great career ahead of you. And for those of y'all who are sleeping on the drag kings out there, what the hell, y'all? I gotta say, I've heard conversations online more than once where it has been discussed about people not being booked in shows or whatnot simply because they were a king. And I gotta tell you, I've been to a lot of drag shows with kings, queens, and whatever, and them kings is letting you have it. So if you're not aware of that, or you don't think that they're doing real drag or whatever, you better recognize, because the work and effort that goes into things like binding and painting and doing the costumes and coming up with stories and productions, they letting you have it, y'all. So if you don't know, now you do. So be sure and check these kings out. Reddit broke my heart to see you go. I did think that you were hella sexy. Maybe not, the camp factor was a little lacking this week. However, I was there for the whole thing of the gender switch reversal thing. I was there for it. I thought it was sexy. You know, I got it. So thank you for bringing that to us, and thank you for being on Camp Wannakiki. Once again, I look forward to seeing what you do next. Okay, what else? We had our bloopers reel at the end of the episode, which kind of ended things. This may be premature for me to announce, but perhaps next week we will have a very special guest. So I'd like y'all to be sure to hit the subscribe button on my page. Go to Camp Wannakiki, watch the episode, come back and compare notes. Y'all know I don't do the clips thing, because of the YouTube copyright restriction things, and also because I'm just not tech savvy and don't have the time to really sit there and go through all those just to pick out little pictures to throw up there. So watch the episode, then come back and compare notes with this old cat. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. I would like to thank my sponsors, the Drag Clubhouse. If y'all don't know, we are going on a cruise in October. Some of the people that are going with us on this are Pandora Box, Mariah Paris Balenciaga, who else do we have? Kasha Davis, Coco Jam Holiday, Diana Fire, Party Favors, there's a whole amazing cast. Darian Lakes coming. It's gonna be a party. So if y'all would like to go on a cruise with some drag performers and have a great time going off to Mexico, then look up the Drag Clubhouse online. I'd also like to thank Sir Rat Leather, your only place to get great leather and gear in Austin, Texas. Sir Rat Leather and Gear. Also, I would like to mention the upcoming book, Legends of Drag, which there will be several prominent Camp Wannakiki campers featured in. So Look this up. It's going to be available sometime in the future. I'd like to thank the people at the Blue Starlight Drive-In and Kitty's Catbox Cinema, Slipside Productions, and really just everybody, all of you out there for your support and for tuning in and watching this show. Big love for you now. I don't want to say any more thank yous because it's starting to sound like the Academy Awards. Be sure and send your thoughts and prayers for Ernestine. And thanks for watching. Until next week, big love from the Catbox. Bye-bye, y'all.